Hello, guys. It's DannyDealz. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we try to give you a little bit more. For executive producer Hurricane Lopez, welcome, and hello. Today, we'd like to talk with you about Tenax Therapeutics, ticker symbol TENX. There's not too much to report. Stock is still trading down in the low 30s. Today, it's down another penny or 3%. It is April 25th, 2023. It's about 11 a.m. out here in beautiful Los Angeles. April 25th reminds me I would be remiss not to send a very happy birthday and I love you to my baby, my princess. It's your special day. Can't wait to see you, and I wish you the very happiest birthday, my dear. Back to 10x Therapeutics. We just saw a little bit of news a couple of days ago. The oral formulation patent was published, the application, so they were granted the patent for the IV back in March 27. You can see the article in Diagnostic and Interventional Cardiology if you want to take a look at that patent. And then on 19 April 2023, patent application titled Levocemendin for treating pulmonary hypertension, blah, 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 filed with, then you could see the patent number there. Um, and if you go down to the claims, basically the claim is the walking test. Like the claims supplied by the inventors are number one, a method for improving exercise capacity as measured by at least a 10-meter increase in the 6-minute walking distance in a human subject afflicted with PHHF-PEF comprising orally administering to the human subject an amount of levocen OR 1896 or OR 1855 or a combination thereof that is effective to improve the human subject's exercise capacity by at least a 10-meter increase in the 6-minute walk distance. So there you have it. The exact claim on this patent is the exact same thing as the endpoint for the P3 trial that the FDA has agreed to. This is critical. The FDA has made a couple of concessions. Um, and number one, allowing them to switch to the oral formulation. Number two, allowing them to switch the endpoint to improvement in the 6-minute walking test, which is something that the P2 trial already showed this drug is effective for. So the FDA is really trying to set this drug up for approval. Also, you will remember that Dr. Stuart Rich, the 10X Therapeutics medical director, was actually on the FDA advisory board for cardiology and pulmonary drugs for many years and is as close to a connected FDA insider as you could possibly get. So the patent IP is secure. Just need a partner to get into the P3. Let's talk briefly about the price action of the stock. We came down to, oh, the low 30s about 3 weeks ago, and there we have stayed. There was like one mini pump and dump in there a couple weeks ago, but up to 40 cents. But for the most part, we've stayed right there in the low 30s. Now, let's take a look at a couple of trend lines that are forming a little bit of a wedge. This upper part of the wedge you can see is a very reliable line. It was supporting the stock back through 2021 in August and then again in September. The stock bounced off that exact trend line, came up to 35 bucks, came down, rode the trend line as support all the way to January of 2022, where it broke down below the trend line, and then that trend line became resistance from March all the way to June of 2022. The stock was just riding just below that trend line, and then the stock fell off a cliff there and came all the way down to this bottom support line that has acted as support ever since. Now, you see basically the stock just ran out of room to fall. Nothing good happened to the stock that caused it to gain support. I just think the market cap became so low and the shares became so little compared to the value of the asset. There just were no more sellers. So this is when we talk about the short data, everybody's showing that the short is letting go in the statistics. But if you look at news, 10 stocks targeted by short sellers recently on Insider Monkey. It shows a huge increase in the short. And then if you look at the data on Ortex or Fintel or some of these other sites that get a little bit more aggressive in terms of collecting the short data, the cost to borrow is absolutely through the roof, over 200%. I'm showing today across a couple of sites that I average out. So um, it doesn't make any sense that the short interest would be dramatically decreasing, that the share count would be dramatically increasing, and then that the cost to borrow would go up that much. It just doesn't make sense. I believe there's a huge short on this stock, a huge short in the dark pool. What sense does it make? The cheapest the hedge fund could have bought millions of shares in this offering is 72 cents. You derive that figure by taking the $1.80 they paid um, for 2.5 shares, including the cashless exercise of the warrants. So that's at least 72 cents. That's the least they could have paid for any of these shares, and they're currently dumping and shorting at 32 cents. So everything I've learned, everything I've seen over the years with penny stocks leads me to believe that this stock is going to be pumped and dumped until there is news of a partnership, when and if there is news of a partnership for the P3, at which point I think that will be their opportunity to do a final pump and dump on this stock. Well, they'll drive the price back way back up into the dollars, and people are talking reverse split. It just all depends if news comes. Obviously, if no news comes and the company's just puttering along, just surviving, burning cash very, very slowly, by the end of September, they'll either have to get an extension or they'll have to do a reverse split. They might just want to go ahead and do the reverse split because the shares are almost worthless, and it would make sense to stop the shorting and manipulation to reduce the share count dramatically if possible. But in any case, what the company is looking for is a credible partner for P3. If you go back and you read the Zacks analysis, I think it was last September, they talk about all the companies that, this drug would be amazing in their pipeline, and all those companies had cash, and this thing is now so cheap. I think it makes a lot of sense. But until we get to that P3 announcement of enrollment, and we have that credible partner, and we have the funding to actually get through the P3, all the IP and all the verbose YouTube people don't make any difference at all. The price action is what it is. There is no revenue. The P3 has not started. So until that announcement, I believe the hedge fund will just continue to push the stock down, do little pumps and dumps, and try to scalp retail, bring them in. And then obviously they want you to buy the stock and then sell it back to them lower, allowing them to cover shorts when they want, accumulate when they want, and just buy shares absolutely dirt cheap that they will then pump and dump on some unsuspecting retail fools such as no, not me. But in any case, thanks for watching Un Poco Mas. My name's DannyDealz. It is April 25th. The stock is Tenax Therapeutics, ticker symbol TENX. The stock has absolutely been driven down the toilet bowl and then flushed. You have to decide, is this stock worth only 7 million bucks with two phase 3 ready assets? But they actually have to get into P3 and for that to actually be worth anything. So it's been a very rough road for the 10x investor. Are there better days ahead? Time will tell. Thanks for watching. I'm DannyDealz. You guys have a great Tuesday.